starts wanting to help Venezuela and import their oil.
Or once again, instead of working with somebody once again, well, let's try another coup. Which is the stupid.
I think what he is got to be about porcelain.
My mom brought up that she called her again, and that she goes, because she called and she says, well, the lady I get my cards read from said that Hunt isn't seeing that girl anymore. And my mom's like, I'm like, damn, that fucking sucks. Because she goes, I just said, I don't know. But I'm like, dude. And she was telling me, she goes, oh yeah, Hunt says him and his girlfriend's all excited because they're going to go to this concert. He goes, she got something done in her mouth. And I go, what, did she get a cover to stop her from eating as much? And we just started laughing. But no, she got her lips done or some shit like that. So I'm pretty sure I don't show off.
Like, oh, like Selena.
Yep. Yeah, like Selena. And we started laughing because she goes,
Bomb active.
About Gabby had gotten mad the last time. Yeah, she hasn't come by anymore. Good, more food left for us. Now we're talking about what we're gonna do next week for we should go have dinner somewhere for Layla. For her cumpleaños. Oh, bitch.
We're off on Monday.
Yeah. So I'm gonna call right now. I'm gonna call what's her face to see if she's gonna be making sure she has no
Remember
friends.
this defeat. Let it inspire our next victory.
Oh my dick. Look at me go crazy.
And then there's no organization, there are no unions. We write the Communist Party out to assist it. Very important powerful force in the 1930s.
Switching
As
rally
were the socialists, the old CIO, the Wobblies. There was independent press, appeal to masses, who was the socialist newspaper, had the fourth highest circulation in the country.
Declinate all objectives.
And all of that was systematically dismantled. With the Red Scare after the Cold War, and the deforming of liberals. So any liberal politician, Henry Collins, 1948, he'd been Roosevelt's had been his vice president. He ran
I didn't even turn it on.
anti-militarized platform. They crucified him. Same with George McGovern in 72. So it became impossible within the liberal wing. We used to have an old liberal wing, Eugene McCarthy, Fulbright, and others, who would at least challenge cost overruns and ridiculous weapon systems that were just boondoggles for defense contractors to make money. That's all gone, vanished. We're completely helpless, completely powerless. And it's a combination of forces, consolidation of corporate control.
Flush them out.
Does General Electric own
General Electric owned control but then they sold it. Because there's a part of it that looks like this.
company.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, like this.
and who are these?
Has a little
Blends,
So they're right there?
but of course, it's the echo chamber from the military and intelligence industry involved when we're raking in millions of dollars. I mean, if you finish at a 4-star general, I can't remember what your pension is, 180, 200. I mean, it's really generous, but of course, it's not enough. And Washington was working for what was it, on Raytheon?
Yes, Raytheon.
Yeah. I mean, so it's just become so patently corrupt within the system. And we have been so effectively disempowered that, I mean, I think, was it 90% of Americans want gun control? I think that's right. Some form of background check. It doesn't really matter anymore because we lost one power we had, which was organized power, and we're just being taken for a ride. You've gone after the squad, I think, correctly. It's just a public relations gimmick. And they all voted for this for $40 billion. That's more than 40 because they already got 13 billion, so it's actually close to 54 billion. And they're talking about long, prolonged conflict and fueling $4 to $5 billion a month into the Ukraine, and these idiots, the Kagans and all the others, Blinken, and they all think that when they finish with Russia, they're going to take down China. That's what Biden was doing in Asia. It's just utter insanity.
Yeah, if Trump was doing, like, this is the kind of stuff that people warned that Trump would do. Trump is going to start a war with 2 nuclear powers. Could you imagine if Trump was doing that? It'd be crazy. But it's Joe Biden and the establishment, and everyone's acting like it's a good Christian thing to do. We have to start a war with, and they're printing headlines in places like the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. We have to show that we're not afraid of a nuclear war. Stuff like that. It's the crazy stuff. Like, that's the stuff you thought Trump was going to say, and now the people, and you think that the people in charge are the grown-ups, right? No, they're just smart enough not to behave like a maniac. That's all that Joe Biden. They're not smart. They're not grown-ups. They're psychopathic, homicidal maniacs. People who are running this country, it certainly isn't Joe Biden. If anybody thinks Joe Biden's making one decision, you're also demented. Because Joe Biden is demented, and that's not hyperbole, right? That's a fact, and no one wants to talk about it. And so who is making the decisions? We know it's not Kamala Harris. We know it's not Joe Biden. I wonder who it really is. And so it's not Trump that is the maniac. Trump right now, as Chomsky correctly pointed out, is the only statesman of any stature who's calling for peace right now. It's Donald Trump. So the exact opposite of the stuff that we were taught and we were told and we were bombarded with every day for 6 years, that Trump is a maniac, homicidal maniac who shouldn't have his finger on the nuclear button. No, it turns out Trump was actually the peace candidate, and and of course Joe Biden. I mean, I'm not saying Donald Trump isn't a maniac. I'm saying that in this situation, it turns out the reason why he was rushing was because he was going against the deep state. Because he did run on the Iraq War being a mistake. He did run on pulling our troops out of the Middle East. He did try to get troops out of places, and Joe Biden fled in Somalia. And Joe Biden sending them right back in for Ethiopia. There was actually a pause in Africa during Donald Trump's administration, and now we're right back in ramping it up. And you have a very interesting part in your article at your Substack, and I want to read this to the people so we can talk about it. You say in 1992, Defense Planning Guidance from the U.S. Undersecretary of Defense Paul Woodward argued that the U.S. must ensure a no-rival superpower again arises. So in 1992, then, Defense Planning Guidance Memorandum under U.S. Secretary Paul Wolfowitz argued that the U.S. must ensure no rival superpower again arises, and that the U.S. should protect its military strength to dominate a unipolar world in perpetuity. So that was in 1992, okay? And then later on, in the late 98, on the Senate show, Secretary of State under Clinton, Madeleine Albright, gave the Democratic version of the same unipolar document. She said, if we use force, it is because we are Americans. We are the indispensable nation, she said. we stand tall and we see further than other countries into the future. So this is, and so what was the result of that policy, which was both Democrats and Republicans coming together under the same color doctrine, meaning that the United States should be the only superpower and there should be no check on us. And what was the result of that? Well, the military strikes they casually used to assert the doctrine of unipolarity, especially in the Middle East, swiftly spawned jihadist terror and prolonged warfare. None of them saw it coming until the hijacked jets slammed into the World Trade Center Twin Towers. That they cling to this absurd hallucination over experience. So I see them doing even worse things now than this, right? So the stuff that they did in the 90s, the blowback from it was the World Trade Center and things like that, Osama bin Laden. And now what they're doing is they're going to wreck the dollar. That's happening. The dollar being the world currency, that's going to go away because of it. And they're doing it right out in the open. And they're starving our own country as we flood Europe with weapons and cash to the most corrupt people there. So I'm extra nervous that this is going to keep going, and this will never stop. And we're going to really, we're talking about we're at the end of an empire, end-stage capitalism. This is all real. It's happening right out in the open, and no one's doing anything about it. And if anybody does stand up and say something, they're immediately marginalized, right? They're immediately, like, we're going to do to Matt Taibbi, Glenn Greenwald, yourself. They took all your stuff off YouTube. They call those people right-wingers to try to discredit them. So I don't even know if there's a question in there. It's just more of a fear. If you want to respond to any of
Mission
that.
complete. Clear
Yeah,